Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin-Business Virtual Power Lunch. Please welcome your hosts, Tyler Price and Brian Magleby.
Are we live? All right. Well, welcome to Talkin-Business. We cannot see what's on the screen, but I hope that we're showing up. Tyler Price, welcome to the... Oh, wait a minute. Tyler's in San Diego. Where did he go, man? All right. So Tyler decided a last-minute trip that the guy's like called me this weekend. He's like, oh, by the way, I've decided to go to San Diego for the week. So I was like, okay. So I called my good man, Dustin Harris, great friend, great business supporter. I think he's one of the great entrepreneurs here of the Valley. He's been an appraiser. He's been an appraiser coach, and he's been very involved in real estate. And we had him as a guest on the show, probably 6 months ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah. Yep. And so I invited Dustin to come in here and hold down Tyler's chair, and we're glad to have you here.
Well, you know, I'd love being second string.
Well, you may be second string. He actually hosts his own podcast, and ours is probably a minor comparison if you looked at the quantity of listeners. You would just blow us away.
Mine's very niche, Brian.
Yes, it is, but it may be niche, but you do a phenomenal job. But we got a great background of somewhere in Idaho. I've been told that it's somewhere in Idaho today, so we are excited to have no snow in the picture. We seem to have that happening, but this week it's supposed to get a little better, so we're excited for that. But let's talk about last week's show. We had Aaron Ferris on from the aquarium, the East Idaho Aquarium, and I don't know if you had a chance to watch the show, but the guy has done some amazing things there at the aquarium, and more things to come. I mean, he talked about having there's more than beyond things of an aquarium there.
Yeah.
We're talking birds. We're talking sloths. There's things that are not usually found in an aquarium, but I'll tell you, he's really developed that business and encouraged people to go out and visit East Idaho Aquarium. Let's talk about some of the trainings we have coming up here. We have a systemizing sales for success. We can put that up on the screen there. Man, I'm going to brag all I can about this class. For one thing, that if your business sells a product or service, it doesn't matter, and every business is selling something no matter what. This is the class that you should be into. We go into the psychology of sales and things that you should do in making presentations and things that you need to do after making presentations, and what are the right questions to ask and things like that. I can just tell you that the feedback on this class, this is I think the third time that Jared's taught it. The first two have been absolutely phenomenal. 5 stars across the board. So if your business sells anything, you should be looking into getting into this class. It's only $149 for 4 weeks it starts on the 9th of March and goes every Wednesday afternoon from 1:30 to 3, held at the Innovation Center. Highly recommend you looking into that. And we've got another class we'll have a graphic for next week called Grow Your Business. And did you participate in this class at the Innovation Center?
I did not.
Well, this class, Tyler's taken the class, man, and I'll just tell you that this is the most intense class we teach at the Innovation Center. It's simply called Grow Your Business, but it's a 10-week course, and I'll tell you that this is it's taught in colleges, and it is just a phenomenal content. The manual alone is an inch thick, and you get so much. Just the manual alone is worth the cost of the class in that one. So we'll be talking about it in coming weeks. It starts at the end of March. So to 29th of March is when that class starts. So let's just talk about our sponsors, man. You couldn't be sitting in that chair, and I couldn't be sitting in my chair if it wasn't for our sponsors. So BBSI is our long-term sponsor, and we appreciate them. The greatest of human resources in all of Idaho. I can say that without fear because they're centered out of Boise, but they do great things. New Line Media. This is a new studio that you're in.
It is, yeah, brand new.
And they're putting on and produce a great show for you. If your business needs any kind of videography work, encourage you to look up and search out Tyson at New Line Media. Bullpine Marketing keeps us up to date every week on our website. Just had lunch with Ryan. He's just so involved with the chamber and everything. He just has a phenomenal, he just hit his 2-year mark. He's absolutely doing good. You want to talk about the other two, SBDC and the Idaho Innovation Center?
Yeah, I mean, I was involved in the Idaho Innovation Center. In fact, I still
Yes, you do. We love it.
Brian lets me stop by once in a while and say hi to my friends. A great opportunity to grow your business. It's an incubator. It's an opportunity for a small business to become a business. Awesome. The resources, the network, the opportunity to associate with other small business owners.
Yep, and we turned the average business failure rates just opposite of that. Instead of 90% of businesses failing after 5 to 10 years, we are just the opposite. Only less than 5 or 10% of the businesses that come and start and grow at the Idaho Innovation Center are like that. And then the SBDC, of course, that's kind of how we do all the coaching through them. So we appreciate that. We're excited for today's show. A super entrepreneur here in Eastern Idaho, Heidi Blumel, is the owner, franchisee of Suntan City.
Yeah.
And she's been involved in a lot of different things, and we're gonna learn all about what some of her secrets to success with Suntan City are, and then some other things that she's been involved in on and continues to be involved in on. But let's learn a little bit about Suntan City with a quick video. I think this one is just a couple minutes long. So.
Our mission at Suntan City is to provide the best results to our clients in an impeccably clean environment. At Suntan City, we have 4 tanning bed options for you, plus an awesome sunless booth. When you come in, we're going to find out exactly what your tanning goals are and make the right recommendation for you. Let me take you on a tour. I'll show you all the tanning equipment we have to offer, plus that awesome sunless booth. That way, when you decide what membership or package is going to be best for you, you're well informed. Our fast bed is not only a terrific value, but it's also a great way to slowly build your base tan. Most fast beds are 20-minute sessions, whereas some salons do offer a 10-minute express version for clients in a hurry. Our faster bed is a popular option for clients looking to build a base tan. With 2 to 3 times more results in the fast bed, you'll see less of the reddening, not to mention a great golden glow from the facial tanners. If you love options, it also has a great stand-up choice too. The fastest bed delivers 3 to 5 times better results than the fast bed. In this bed, you will achieve a golden tan with a touch of in-the-sun glow. It only takes 4 to 7 sessions to build your base tan and only 1 or 2 visits a week to maintain your tan. It's sure to be a favorite. The Instant Bed is the best bed at Suntan City. With 5 to 10 times better results, you're going to achieve your base tan in only 2 to 3 sessions. Not to mention, only 2 to 4 visits a month will maintain your glow. Let yourself shine in our best bed. Looking to achieve a tan that will last up to 7 days? Then look no further. The sunless option at Suntan City will help you look 3 to 5 shades darker in just 1 visit. The booth utilizes the newest airbrush technology to give you a flawless tan in minutes.
My schedule can be unpredictable sometimes, and the hours at Suntan City really help me to still be able to incorporate it into my life. They're open early, they stay open late. I also do a lot of traveling for my job, and so their convenient locations nationwide still help me to be able to include it when I'm on the road.
The staff at Suntan City is awesome. They're all knowledgeable and friendly as soon as I walk through the door. They're quick to answer any questions and make recommendations that fit my tanning needs.
Skincare is the most important thing to me when I'm tanning, and Suntan City has a vast array of skincare options and lotions. They have exclusive products, they have whatever's the latest on the market, and the staff there is always very knowledgeable about the product and willing to help me find what's best for my skin, what's best to maximize my color, and what's best for each option that I want to use.
Suntan City cares about my experience, so I'm never hesitant to try any of their products or their tanning services because I know that there's always 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Not only does it make me feel like I look better, but also sometimes it just helps me escape the pressures of the world.
Now that you've taken a tour, check out our memberships and packages page. There you'll be able to decide on a plan that's best for you. Not ready to decide today? Stop by your local Suntan City. There, one of our knowledgeable tanning consultants will help you find the best products and services to suit all of your needs. Thanks for visiting Suntan City.
All right, well, welcome back. Heidi, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
It's so good to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background. You told me out in the hall that you're from Utah. We'll give you a pass because you've been here for 12 years.
Yeah, I have. Like I was saying, talking to you guys, I did grow up in Utah. I have a lot of family here. So I think 12 years being here now, I can call Idaho home.
Idaho home, baby.
Right. But I don't like the winters. But
Yep.
I do have 2 young children. My daughter is going to be 10, and then I have a son who's 7. And just when we moved up here, I fell in love with business, and I love growing things and helping people develop their passions. And so I was originally in dental hygiene. But then after I got that business bug, I was like, yeah, no.
I don't want to work on someone's with bad breath every day.
Right. So I changed, and when I was at ISU, I finished my bachelor's degree in business management with
Awesome.
an emphasis in entrepreneurship.
Chose to go the route of what made you choose Suntan? How you grew?
So I originally opened my salon independently, and a year and a half later had the opportunity to partner with Suntan City. And the reason why I did that is because I loved the support and the IT and just all the algorithms they use to
Bring
conduct
customers
their
in.
business.
Mhm.
You know, because sometimes when you look at a franchisee or becoming a franchise, you look and they don't support their franchisees, right? It's always about like, what can they get out of their franchisees back at corporate?
Right.
And I think that's what steers away a lot of people from becoming part of a franchise. Because every year you'll go back and you'll reread your FDD documents, and they'll be like, well, why is this price getting hiked up? Or why is this cost going up? And where's my support in this? Well, it wasn't like that. I was getting so much support, and everything on the back end was to make the company stronger.
Well,
And that's what we wanted.
how many locations are there of Suntan City?
There's over 260 across the
Wow.
nation.
Wow, that's you know if a company's got that many locations, that there's got to be some reasons for their success.
Right.
So
Tell us a little bit about if I need a tan, right?
yeah.
Come on in, we'll take
Go
care
to
of
one
you.
of your vacation
Right.
homes, my friend.
If I go into Suntan City, what am I going to find that might set you apart from?
Well, hopefully it's how we educate you on the tanning process and on your skin type. Because not everybody should just come into a tanning salon and lay in a bed for the full length of time. I mean, there's
You will pay the consequences if
yeah,
you do.
please don't do that. We want our customers to come in and be educated on why your skin absorbs UVA and UVB rays and how long it takes to build up a base tan and the difference between what the rays do. UVA will bronze the outer layers of your skin. UVB will help build the base tan, right? And there's
Things I did not know.
see, that's why you have me
It
on here. I'm
is.
supposed to educate you before you go off on vacation.
Next time
I
I'm
know.
on the show, Brian, just wait.
Yes.
He's gonna have a base.
That's right.
No, she's going to turn me away like you do. Sorry, you're too white. Leave.
Yes, and I'm allergic to the sun, so even when I
Nice.
do go out and get in the sun, then I break out and hive, so I've got to be very cautious. But tanning is a
Yeah.
great way for me to not break out like that because I'm allergic to the sun. So yeah, I think that you can tell the difference of going to a professional place like Suntan City. Absolutely. Talk about the technology of the equipment that you have there.
Well, the first thing I wanted to do is bring the best equipment that was out on the market to Idaho Falls. And I wanted to bring, things with ergonomic based acrylic and music, but things that had the bronzing technology that I was used to in Salt Lake City, right? So I did my research for 2.5 years before I even ventured into the market of tanning. And then that's when I opened up the independent salon. And then after that, I was at an industry convention and was speaking to Suntan City, and they said, hey, let's chat.
Wow. So you made the change at that point.
Uh-huh.
And did you have to change out any of your equipment at that point?
No, everything was up to their specs.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Coming from a very ignorant standpoint with Santana, I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
grew up kind of feeling the narrative out there was that suntanning was dangerous. I know that's changed. Talk to us about that.
Well, like in all things in life, it's moderation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that with moderation, you have to be educated. Now, granted, there are things in life that are completely bad for you, but we have to be educated. Now, there are some skin types that will not tan at all, and it's not safe for you to tan if every time you go out into the sun, you're going to blister and cause sun damage, right? Like,
you got to cover this up, my friend.
I wear a hat most of the time.
like, of course, we want you to be safe and wear sunscreen, right? But look where we live. We have a lack of vitamin D.
Yes, we
And
do.
a lack of vitamin D can cause seasonal depression disorder. We have skin conditions like psoriasis,
Yes.
right? And acne. But then there are definitely, if you go the extreme opposites, we have health issues because of not having enough vitamin D.
Yeah.
So if you go one way, it's not good. If
What?
you go the other way, it's not good either.
Yeah.
So let us educate you so we can have a balance.
Don't spend the money at the health store getting that vitamin D. Just go get and.
Right.
Right.
Heidi, I'm gonna change the subject
Okay.
a little bit here.
All right, just a little.
Just a little bit because I know that there's been some health issues that you've had and I've experienced them, as you know, in my family as well. But kind of talk about some of the challenges that you've had health-wise over the last few years. And I'm throwing her a curveball because I did not tell her that I was going to bring this up
Good
on
thing
the
this
show.
isn't live, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's not live, right? It's not live at all. No, and so 7 years ago, when my youngest son was born, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And ever since that, I've tried to be very open about health issues and challenges with that. And I think, kind of like before what we talked about, and you guys were asking, my greatest success.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's how you get through the hard times,
Yes.
And with those challenging times and what I faced personally or what my family's faced, or whether it be business, whatever comes, I think it's how you persevere. And
It took you out for a little bit.
oh, yeah, because I think when you're facing something that could be so detrimental, both to your family, and I mean, I just had a baby and he was premature. We were, 3.5 years into a new business. And I mean, you have to decide, what are you going to do? And yes, it did take me out, but we had to figure out what medications. And oh my gosh, if you've ever seen the list, I mean, I know you have, but these medications for MS are just mind-boggling.
Yeah, they are.
And to have neurologists tell you, I had one neurologist tell me, you know what? you need somebody to pretty much take over your life.
Wow.
And here I am at 27. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
I have 2 babies. Like, what, you expect me like to just like pretty much roll over and just die?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's great. These challenges, as you know, I mean, we all know that the challenges can make us stronger, and I bet you that that's
Yeah.
what probably turned it around. That your business actually benefited from you having gone through these challenges because of it makes you a stronger person.
I think most, just like life, it ebbs and flows,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we all have to sit back and say, okay, where am I going with this, and what have I learned, and who's coming with me,
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely has made me put on my big girl pants.
Yes, it
you
has.
know? Yeah.
That's awesome, and
Yeah.
I apologize for the curveball
No,
there,
no.
but absolutely, she's involved in helping other people. She's actually gone over to my mother's house and visited with my mother about MS, and so from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being that proponent for that.
Yeah, anybody I meet, I have tried to support other people with debilitating health issues, especially if they want to start up their own business, or if whatever they want to do, like, you can do it. Because is it hard? Absolutely.
It is. Mhm.
But if that's what you want to do, you shouldn't let the mind games stop you.
Yes.
And it does for so many.
Mhm.
Business in itself is going to be a very challenging and difficult process.
Mhm.
Right? We
Yep.
all know that most small businesses fail in the first year,
Yep.
and those that survive fail in the next 4 years,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But those that survive are those that take principles of truth and apply them. And I would even compound that and say those that go through challenges can sometimes take those and boost their overall ability to be able to move through those other challenges.
Right. It's not, let me give you some fairy dust and tell you it's all going to be
Good.
sugar
Right.
plums.
Right.
It's, I'm going to be a realist with you, and you have to look at it at a realist perspective.
Yep. And I know that once you hit this level of success like Heidi has with her business, then she's been asked to do some trainings with the Idaho Women's Business Center.
Mhm.
Recently, you did some trainings. So once you have people have seen that success, then they want you to help show other people. So kind of
Yeah.
talk about what your training was there with the Women's Business Center.
Oh, that was so much fun. I have to say, I think that's one of the things I've always wanted to do was train, and especially training women. And when I was asked to teach this 6-week course at the Idaho Women's Business Center, it's at the Curtis Wright building, and we just did this. It's the first class that was taught live here in Idaho Falls. It was so much fun. We had 4 women, and we covered everything from startups to financing to elevator pitch
Marketing.
and marketing
websites.
and customer research and development, and you name it, we had it. We had women there who just the idea of starting a business just popped into their mind, to women who were a year and a half into it, and it is amazing to see how excited they are and just ingrained and in depth, and everything you say, they're like, oh yeah, what about this? Oh yeah, well, tell me about this. And did you really do that? How did you do that?
Yeah.
And I love it. I love teaching the women.
Wow. Well, that's great. And look out. I'll just warn you that after you start doing that, you'll be recruited many more times. So I teach a lot of those courses, and so now I have a real solid backup in
you go.
Heidi Blumel.
Wow.
So,
Trust me, he pulls in the substitute.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I do, but they're qualified. That's the good. That's the good thing about it. In our questionnaire that we have you fill out before being on the show, there's some advice that you gave some entrepreneurs, and I just want to talk about this. The first year to 3 years will test you, and that's something that you mentioned, Dustin. But don't give up when things get hard. Keep putting in hard work and seek help and advice when you don't know what to do. And the next one, you can't operate without money. So when it starts to come in, be smart with it. Save and always make sure your expenses are being covered. Next one, invest in your employees. And I can't tell you that. Isn't that rock solid advice there?
I mean, as a small business owner, you just nailed it. Yeah.
You did. So talk to us about these things. How do you invest in your employees?
I like to get to know my employees, even though in my industry, we have a very high turnaround. I think one, because it's due to our seasonality, and two, because of the age on which we're hiring these employees.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mostly either high school or college students. It's just, I like to look at our salon as that entry-level job of, I know you're not going to stay, but I really hope that whatever you gain here will help you on to your next employer.
Yeah.
And so if I can get to know you and see what your passion is in life, see where you're going, then I want to invest in you just for this short time period I have you here.
Whether it's a year, 2 years, whatever it may be, that's great.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal advice. What tell us anything else about Suntan City? It's a great business. Tell where you're located at, by the way.
We are at 2050 Jenny Lee Drive. If you know where Apple Athletic Club is.
Club Apple, let me correct you a little bit.
Yes.
Club Apple.
Club
They changed their
Apple.
name. They like
Yes.
to be noted.
Sorry. So my front doors face their front doors.
Yes.
So we are west facing.
Gotcha.
Very good. And how many beds do you have there?
So I have 10 UV beds and I have 2 cosmetic spray sunless booths.
Wow.
Yep.
You've got it happening there at Suntan City. Is there anything else, Heidi Blumel? I mean, you are so involved with so many different types of organizations and things. Oh, by the way, she's involved with TEDx as well. Tell us a little bit about TEDx.
Yeah, so about four years ago, I got roped into TEDx.
Roped in that. Everybody should have a TEDx experience.
Exactly. So our good friend, Brad.
Mr. Christensen.
Yep. I said, hey, if you ever need a volunteer, and I'm thinking like volunteer, like I'll pass out treats or tickets, something like that. And he's like, yeah, I do. Come to this meeting.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I came to this meeting and he's like, hey, everybody, this is Heidi. She's our new executive director, and she's in charge of sponsorships. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa, Brad.
I said I would pass out tickets. And he's like, oh, no, you'll do great. So, but, now I got to love him for that because now that's what I do for Idaho Falls. I go around and I ask people for money.
Sponsors.
Yep. And so if you see me coming, just know I'm going to ask you for money.
Yes.
And then when I was back in New York getting trained with TED, I also got picked up by Modena, Italy, and I help with their international sponsor relations.
How exciting. That is very
So
cool.
I've been doing that since 2018.
How has that experience helped you in small business to take it to that level and then apply the principles that you're finding there to your small business here in Idaho Falls?
I think the biggest thing that I've loved is relationships. And the relationships, I mean, it doesn't matter where I go, right? Whether it's here in Idaho Falls, or if it's in Utah, or if it's clear
New York
across
or
the
Italy.
world. Yeah. It's all about relationships, And it's how we connect with people. And at the end of the day, what does that mean? How are you creating that lasting relationship?
Absolutely phenomenal. Well, we have $50. We know that there's a lot of people listening that want this $50, and we're going to give it away at the end of the show, so we hope you've been paying attention. we will have a trivia question for you at the end of the show. So thank you, Heidi, for being here. Thank you for being a great representative of Suntan City. And talk to us about this quote that you have.
Okay, so I found this quote, and it is probably, I just can't beat it.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the author is, but it says, "You'll never be brave if you don't get hurt. You'll never learn if you don't make mistakes. You'll never be successful if you don't encounter failure." And I have it framed in my kitchen, and I talk to my kids about it. And I think it's just the epitome of life and being a business owner.
It is. You'll never be successful if you don't encounter failure. And when I was heavily involved in sales and leadership and stuff, I loved actually when I'd go on, making some sales presentations, and I love it when people would actually tell me no, because I knew that according to percentages, I was going to get that got me closer to a yes. And so it's not the no's that count in our life. It's how many times we pick ourselves up, go back out there, and we will be successful. So love that quote. So absolutely phenomenal. Now, thank you again, Heidi, for being here. We did kind of a first. I did kind of a first because I knew that Heidi had been involved in training, these trainings that she did for the Women's Business Center. I asked her to come up with a topic that we could train our businesses on today. And so she came up with this training list here. We're going to talk about customer retention. And so let's, I'm going to just kind of turn over. You put this phenomenal list together. We get this here. I'm not sure if people can see it on our computer, but we've got it up there on the side of it there. So kind of talk about customer retention. Why customer retention?
Okay, kind of like what I said before, customer retention is the heartbeat of every business. And lately, I love to watch people. So when I go into a business, when I go into a restaurant, I'm watching how everybody is interacting with one another. And I want to know how your business is thriving on customer retention. So customer retention is when you have the ability to keep a client satisfied and returning to your business instead of seeking out a competitor.
What are you doing to keep them coming to you? And that's a key thing in business. I mean, sure, we all have to worry about getting those new customers, but what about the returning customers?
Mm-hmm. A lot of businesses don't understand that when you're trying to get that customer into the door, it's costing you a lot of money. So to retain a customer, it's not going to cost you
so
that
much cheaper if they just focus on it.
Exactly. So you've spent all this money getting them into your front door. So why spend extra money on those customers out there when you could just retain the customers that are within your business?
Repeat business. We all start pretty well at the beginning of the month. It's March 1st. We all started pretty well at zero, as does every single business. But why not focus on what you can do to keep your customers in? You came up with a great list here, how to improve your customer retention. So pay attention here, and maybe Justin and I will jump in here, but talk to us about those things.
All right, so the first one that I thought of was train your team on your company's customer service standards. So every company has your core customer service standards. Like, how do you greet the client? What does your company stand for? What are your mission statements? What are your core values? What's the process of greeting the client? Getting them up to the cash register? Do they just walk on by when they come into the front door? Do you have salespeople walking through the aisles? Or if you're a restaurant, how long does the customer sit there before you give them water? So what are your standards?
What is the experience you're wanting the customers to have in your business?
And people feel that. When you go into a business, you walk out with a feeling of what that customer service environment is. It's not usually that one service individual. It's a whole experience, and you know that comes from the top.
Oh, of course. And if the owner doesn't know what it is, and the management doesn't know what it is, and the staff doesn't know what it is, and if the staff who has the main touch with the client, if they're not bought in, then your whole customer experience is just falling apart.
There won't be a customer experience.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
So the next one, be consistent in your services. That is absolutely, you've got to do that if you want to create. Now, we have ways that are, people know what the customer service is in businesses, and that's called, they can leave a review the second they leave your place.
Right.
And that's instant. But you have to be consistent in making it sure, or people will know that what you're doing it wrong. So.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if this server is better than this server, but then let's say your good server leaves, and now you're just left with this server. I mean, you got to make sure the service is unanimous across all your employees. If not, then what do you think is going to happen to your restaurant? Well, your restaurant is going to be like this, and people are going to be like, oh, well, I only go there on Wednesdays because so-and-so works.
Yeah.
Other than that, we don't like it.
Yeah, there's a great book out there we talk a lot about in business, Michael Gerber's E-Myth. And he tells the experience of going into a barbershop. And I won't spoil it for everybody. You need to read the book.
Yeah, it's a
The
good
number
one.
one book in business to read.
The experience that he has the first time versus the second time, completely different.
Yeah.
And it paints your perception of that business.
Yep, it does.
Absolutely great. Another one that if you want your employees to all do this, you have to do the role playing. Role play as a customer. And if you don't do that, and you just expect them to read a script and do it, they're not going to do it unless you do the role play with them.
Well, and when I was writing this, I meant for the owners too.
Yep.
You know, I look back when I was in retail in college, I was working at the Buckle and training as a floor manager, assistant floor manager. And my manager took me out and we sat down at the bench that looked into the store. And she said, Heidi, just sit here with me and let's just observe what's going on. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid. And she said, yes. She said, if you don't pay attention to what's on the floor and what's going on as a customer, you'll never know how your team is functioning.
That is so powerful.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Ask customers for honest feedback. I think that comes in the tune of reviews.
Absolutely.
And you all, and I'll tell you that the reviews are so important to get to make sure that they're really good. That you keep the rating. I personally, if there's a business that has a rating of less than 4.5%, 4% for sure, I will be questioning whether I should do business with them. So it's important to not only ask your consumers, but to ask for that feedback as well.
And it's so important how you ask that, right? We've all been in a restaurant where the manager walks around and says, how are things going? Are you really going to tell them the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, or do you just want them to move on and let you get back to your dinner, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
you can probe, ask additional questions, and really I love this. You didn't say ask customers for feedback.
No.
You said ask customers for honest feedback.
Right. And you have to be willing to take the honest feedback and learn and grow. Because as a business owner, if you're not going to take that constructive criticism or that, you know what, your bathroom was really dirty and I don't appreciate coming in here and using a dirty toilet. And if you take that and just sweep it under the rug, no. You take that, you go clean the dirty toilet yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make those changes if you want to be successful and have that customer come back, return, and be happy.
It's easy to get defensive too.
Right.
As a business owner, what do you mean my toilet's dirty? My toilet's not dirty. We just cleaned it. Or you can take that feedback and not just clean the toilet, but put procedures in place to make sure that never happens again.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Next time you see that customer after you clean the toilet, you say, I want you to know I took what you said. I cleaned the toilet. So next time you use it, please let me know how the bathroom is.
Yep.
Yeah. And I leave a lot of Google reviews. I'll say I'm one of those people that I love to do that. And I put pictures to back it up. I left a review for a Cafe Zupas in when I was traveling in Minnesota, I think it was. And but that one is and I put pictures of exactly what the garbage looked like there, and And I love Cafe Zupas. Who doesn't love that? But I can tell you that that's one of the most read things and it was just honest feedback. And of all the Google reviews, I think that's one of the highest rated ones that I have. Deliver the unexpected. Number 5. I love that. Why would you say that? Deliver the unexpected.
Because I think most of the time, especially nowadays, customers are used to getting very mundane service.
Yep.
You know, I was up in Jackson and I stayed at a hotel, and we had some neighbors that just weren't really nice. And so I went up to the front desk and I said, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm traveling with my 2 children and my neighbors just aren't very appropriate. And they were just like, oh, okay. You know, no. You should have followed up with me. You should have at least helped with my bags. You should have done something. Yeah. I mean, I was working with a client and I know that there were some certain circumstances that didn't call for it, but I said, you know what? The next month is on me. Or you know what? Here's a packet of lotion. Yeah. Or if something's going wrong, explain it to them. And then as businesses, can we comp things for free all the time? No, because we just can't afford it. Yeah. Do customers, should they expect things for free all the time? No. But you know what? When you can do little things here and there, you should, because that's what customer service and customer retention is all about. So when you can, you should deliver the unexpected.
This is how you turn a 1-star or 2-star rating into a 4 or 5-star rating.
Right.
And that's and I wish that every employee of every business that's listening could understand, deliver the unexpected. You can't just do sorry about that. That's not
it's not in my wheelhouse. Yeah. I'm not approved for that. Well, you know what? Find somebody who is. Right. Yeah. Or you know what? A client's walking in, hold open the door.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing worse when you have a legitimate complaint and the answer is, I'm sorry, that's corporate. That's just what we do.
But you know what? There is something that you can do. Find out what you can do.
Apologize if nothing
else.
That's free.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Carry their bags out. If it's raining, go to your manager and be like, is there a way we can get an umbrella? Like, how can I help?
Right. Yep. And the last one here, reply quickly to customer concerns, even 1-star reviews. You've got to reply to them.
Yeah. Most of the time, customers just want to be heard. Even if it's, I'm very sorry, I will look into it. And then call them back. Even if you're just picking up the phone and just be like, you know what? I got this message. It's on my desk. I will look into it. Or, I'm sorry, you forgot this at our store. I'm just returning your phone call. Yeah. You know, just customers want to be heard. And I think if we showed a little bit more customer service and trained our staff a little more, don't you think the customer complaints would go down a little more?
I hope people are listening to this, because that is great. Absolutely. 6 bits of great advice. So for the first person that's been on our show that we've asked to come up with our training topic, you knocked it out of the park once again.
Thank you.
So absolutely great. Heidi Blumel, Suntan City here in Idaho Falls, and possibly expanding into other areas. We got that out of her, that maybe there will be some growth opportunities for Suntan City here in this area. But we appreciate you being on the show today. Let's talk about next week. We've got a couple guests lined up. I can't let it out, but I can tell you there's 2 big names that I've been contacting that hopefully, and they will be on the show in the future, but it's whichever one follows up with me first. And then the week after that, we've got the CEO of Spudnik, an Eastern Idaho legend of companies that's been started, grown, and absolutely here. And he's going to be on the show in a couple weeks. We've got some great things lined up in months coming up. Now, we've got a video we're going to show at the end, but before that, we're going to give away her gift card. So, the video we're going to show is a little bit longer than most of our trainings, but one of the best trainers that I've ever enjoyed listening
Brian
to.
Tracy.
Brian Tracy. You can't beat Brian Tracy. And he was talking about this topic that Heidi very eloquently introduced to us, and he's going to give us a training on that. But before that, you want to put my cell phone number up there again? There we go. So earlier in the show, Heidi talked about her the number of tanning beds that she had in
I knew
her,
that's what you were doing.
in the location. So I don't let these guys know, because then they'll think they should be able to answer it and get it. But if you can tell me how many tanning beds that Suntan City, I'm sure there's some people out there right now dialing up. How many beds do you have?
Right.
So, but if you can tell us how many beds that you have they have at Suntan City here in Idaho Falls, you're going to get $50 to that's a month or two of tanning, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
It is. So absolutely great. Go ahead and text me that. And if you're watching the show, even after it's live, then you might want to just try to get that. It's worth the $50. So thank you for being here, Heidi. Thank you
so much,
Dustin, for being pulling a step in for Tyler that's enjoying
He
sitting on the
literally
beach.
called me 5 minutes before.
It was a little more than that,
Okay.
but a couple days. But yeah, I hope you're having fun in San Diego, Tyler. Send us some pictures of your toes in the sand, my friend. And we look forward to having everybody check in again with Talkin' Business next week. Thanks, everybody. Now we end the show with a big thumbs up, everybody, just like our logos. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Your company's most valuable asset is how it is known to its customers. Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and today I want to share some strategies for customer retention, customer loyalty, and repeat sales with you. The three terms are all intertwined. Customer retention leads to brand loyalty, which leads to consumer loyalty. Consumers are more likely to repeatedly buy from a brand or company they trust. How does a company go about building trust? By developing a strong relationship with its clients. First, let's start with customer retention. What does it mean to retain your customer? These statistics are generally defined as the percentage of long-term clients of a company. The long-term clients are more important than short-term because they tend to spend more money, cost less for advertising, and make references to new potential clients. Long-term clients spend more money because they are familiar with the products and enjoy them. Short-term clients may purchase a product one time and then not return again. Because of this, it costs less money to advertise to long-term customers. They are already familiar with the company and its products. Lastly, because of their familiarity with and enjoyment of the brand, long-term clients refer the products to new customers. Think about your favorite clothing brand. You probably buy most of your clothing items from this brand each time you shop. You're considered a long-term customer. You're also more likely to refer this clothing brand to a friend because of how much you appreciate the products. Your value as a customer has doubled because of the profit made from your purchases and the purchases of your friends. In order to acquire these long-term clients, there are a few easy strategies you can employ. First, always provide support to your customers. They need to know that you're always available to answer questions or solve problems they may be having. Survey your customers, measure customer satisfaction ratings, and handle shortcomings. Make sure to require a reasoning section for cancellations or downgrades. It's important for you to know why the customer is unhappy to the point of cancellation. Also, it's beneficial to provide discounts for your long-term clients when and where you can. Show them that their support has been instrumental in your business and it's your gift to them as customers. Once a customer is retained, the next step is customer loyalty. Loyal customers are arguably the most important factor in achieving business success. From customer loyalty comes repeat business and more opportunities for more sales. The major strategies in increasing customer loyalty is keeping it personal and always following up. Establishing trust with a client comes from forming a relationship with them. Start by developing a personal connection. After you finish talking, send a personalized email or a thank you note. It even helps to remember significant things your client has told you and follow up with them about it later. For example, you could add to an email, "How did your vacation go?" This shows that you not only care about your client as a sale, but as a person. It's also crucial that you always follow up with your client. Make the connection right away. Do not wait until later. The moment you hang up the phone, send a follow-up email reestablishing what you've talked about and your next steps. This is especially important if the client has reached out about an issue or with a question. Make sure you provide solutions or answers to the questions that they seek. Forgetting to do so can lead to an unhappy client and decreased sales. Remember, loyal customers are your best salespeople. Spend the time developing a connection and following up to questions, and you'll have a customer for life. If they are satisfied, they may provide you with opportunities you did not have access to beforehand. The last step is generating repeat sales. As I've mentioned earlier, it's much easier to sell products to a loyal customer, someone who values and trusts your company or brand. However, generating repeat sales does not just happen. It takes deliberate action to create opportunity for repetition and loyalty. After all, repeat sales is one of the major factors in boosting profit and generating new leads. In order to repeatedly make sales, there are a few techniques you should use. First, always deliver on your promises. Do what you say you're going to do, and make your first priority the happiness of your customer. If they feel you have their best interests at heart, they're more likely to trust you and your products. Also, always make sure to say thank you. It sounds simple enough, but make your customer feel valued and important. Find a way to show appreciation for their business. Like customer loyalty techniques, building trust and following up with your customers are incredibly important for repeat sales. Constantly reinforce your relationship with your customer by ensuring quality of products, answering questions, meeting deadlines, and so on. Closing the deal is high priority, but not as high as exceeding customer expectations. Follow up with your customers so that they know you are constantly thinking of them, offering values and insights whenever possible. Now, if you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you how to gain customer retention, loyalty, and repeat sales, share it with your friends or anyone else who might benefit from this information. Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought to share with your friends and collaborators. Your company's most valuable asset is how it is known to its customers. Now, I'd love to hear from you, so my question today is, how do you build trust with your customers? As a customer, what makes you trust a company or brand? Leave a comment below and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you how to gain customer retention, loyalty, and repeat sales, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends, and click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.